So let us prove that f of x is equal to x over x plus 1 is continuous at x is equal to 0. Recall that we have three conditions that we must satisfy. If one of them is not satisfied, then continuity is not true. So we have the first, f of 0 must be defined. So we have f of 0 is equal to 0 over 0 plus 1. So the answer is 0, and 0 is a real number, therefore condition 1 is satisfied. Second condition, limit of f of x as x approaches 0, where f of x is equal to x over x plus 1 as x approaches 0. So we try to substitute in here, where if this is undefined, or if this is indeterminate, then we are going to use other methods. So since on the first step we got 0 in direct substitution, and 0 is still a real number, so therefore 0 is the limit of the function. And in letter C, comparing letter A, is f of 0 equal to the letter B condition, limit of x over x plus 1 as x approaches 0? So, well, it's true. 0 is equal to 0. So we satisfied the three conditions. Therefore, this is true, that indeed f of x is equal to x plus 1. X over x plus 1 is continuous at x equals 0. So what about the second? So we have the first condition, f of negative 1 must exist. So we have f of negative 1 is equal to the fourth root of, substitute, let x be equal to negative 1 plus 1. So we have fourth root of 0 is equal to 0. So this one is true. On the second, limit of fourth root of x plus 1 as x approaches negative 1 must exist. But in here, we need to identify the domain of the given function. And since the index is an even number, so that's an even, so it disregards all numbers or radicand that are negative. Okay, therefore x is limited from negative 1 to positive infinity. Understanding this domain, we know that negative 1 becomes the critical value, and it only started from negative 1, so it disregards all real values x on the left of negative 1. Therefore, as x approaches negative 1 from the left, y is undefined. Y does not exist, and y has no behavior at all. That is why the limit does not exist. However, when x approaches negative 1 from the right, the answer here is 0. Therefore, d and e versus 0, they are not true, they are not the same. The limit does not exist. So in here, the second condition is not satisfied. And so with letter C now, because f of negative 1 is not equal to the limit of fourth root of x plus 1 as x approaches negative 1. Therefore, this is not true, it is discontinuous at x that is equal to negative 1. The general expression of the slope of the tangent line. The general expression is treated as the general formula. Therefore, we are going to use this formula in identifying all possible slopes of the tangent line of the given function. Let us recall that the slope of this tangent line on the graph of the function is equal to the limit of f of x plus the change of x or delta x minus the function itself, f of x, divided by delta x as delta x approaches 0. And for you not to be confused, we first start from getting f of x plus delta x. So substitute x plus delta x to the given function. So we have 2 times let x be x plus delta x, so we have 2 times x plus delta x. So we now have, we can actually distribute, so we have 2x plus 2 delta x. Next we have f of x itself, that. So we're ready for the substitution. So we now have the slope is equal to the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x. So we now have the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x minus the given function square root of 2x divided by delta x. Okay, now delta x approaches 0. Now the conjugate of this function, because this one turns to be indeterminate, 0 over 0 form ito pag nag-direct substitution kayo. So we need to get the conjugate. So this is subtraction. So we need to multiply that one to its opposite. So plus square root of 2x. So we have square root of 2x plus 2 delta x plus square root of 2x divided by, okay, so we have 2x plus 2 delta x plus square root of 2x. Now recall that you are just going to get the difference of the two squares. Okay, so that will be good as the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x minus the square root of 2x divided by delta x times the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x plus 2x. So that will be the limit as delta x approaches 0. Okay, so in here we can just cancel this out. So remove the radicand. So because that is already squared, remove the square root. Okay, so you can able to observe that 2x is now like, they're now like terms with the other negative 2x. Therefore, it will now become 2 delta x already, because after simplifying, we can now remove 2x minus 2x will become 0. So this will be limit of 2 delta x over delta x times the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x plus the square root of um, 2x. Okay, so here that is the square root of 2x as delta x approaches 0. The limit of 2 delta x over delta x times the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x plus square root of 2x, okay, as x approaches, delta x approaches 0. So we can now cancel out delta x here. So ano ang natira? We have these 2 here left on the denominator. Now, after canceling delta x, we can now have the substitution. So actually, it will now become the limit of 2 over the square root of 2x plus 2 delta x plus square root of 2x as delta x approaches 0. So the next thing we need to do is to substitute now, let delta x be equal to 0. So we now have 2 over the square root of 2x plus 2 times 0 plus the square root of 2x, which will now become 2 over square root of 2x plus square root of 2x. So we have 2 over 2x, square root of 2x plus square root of 2x is equal to 2 square root of 2x. So we can now cancel 2 here. So our final answer will now become 1 over the square root of 2x. So this is now the general expression of the slope when you are getting the the equations. So in this next example, we are going now to have first the f of x plus delta x, and that will be 2 times the square of x plus delta x, which is equal to twice or 2 times the square of the first term x, so we have x squared, square of the second term delta x, so we have square of that delta x, and twice the product of the first term and the second term x plus delta x, so we have 2 times x delta x plus. Now substitute that will be limit of, using the formula, f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x. As delta x approaches 0, substitute, so we have the limit of 2 times x squared plus 2x delta x plus the square of delta x minus the given function 2x squared divided by delta x as delta x approaches 0. So in here we can observe that if we distribute 2 to x squared, that will become 2x squared, so we can cancel this out. Okay, now we distribute 2 to the other two terms, so we have 4x delta x plus 2 times the square of delta x divided by delta x. Okay, as delta x approaches 0. So these two terms have the same factor delta x, so we can bring it out. So when we bring that out, delta x, so ang naiwan, we have 4x plus 2 times delta x, okay, divided by delta x. So we still need to place the limit process, limit notation. Okay, so here we can now cancel delta x. So ano ang natira? We now have 4x plus 2 delta x. So the limit of 4x plus 2 delta x as delta x approaches 0 will give us now the slope. Now here on the next step, we need to substitute delta x and let it be 0. So we're now evaluating the limit. So we have 4x plus 2 times 0. So here we let delta x be equal to 0. So anong natira? We have 4x. So m that is equal to 4x is the general expression of the slope of the tangent line on the graph of f of x is equal to 2x squared. Now in getting the equation of the tangent line and the normal line, you notice that we just use the same given. Now the general expression of the slope of f of x is equal to 2x squared is equal to 4x. And this is already the point of tangency 1, 2. So how did you get this point? So when x is 1, so f of 1 will become 2 times the square of 1 is equal to 2. That is why we have the point of tangency 1, 2. And this m that is equal to 4x, ito yung sinolve natin kanina, si general expression of the tangent line. So ang gagawin lang natin dito, we substitute x that is equal to 1. So 4 times 1 is equal to 4. This 4 is the slope of the tangent line. Now using the equation, the point slope form, y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, wherein x and y are represented by 1 and 2. So substitute, so we have y minus 2. The slope is 4, so 4 times x minus 1. So we have 4x, distribute, minus 4. So lipat natin ng negative 2, will become plus 2 here. So y is equal to 4x minus 2. This one is the equation of the tangent line. Okay, now how do we get the equation of the normal line? The slope of the normal line is the negative reciprocal of the slope of the tangent line. So kung 4 ang slope ng tangent line, get the reciprocal of 4, tapos negate natin kasi positive 4 yung slope ng tangent line. Now using the same formula, however, we change the slope into negative 1/4. So we have y minus 2 is equal to negative 1/4 times x minus 1. So we have y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 1/4 plus 2. So y is equal to negative 1/4 x. So cross multiply 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So we have 9/4. This is equation of the normal line, or you can rewrite it in general form or standard form. Pare-pareho lang sila. Now let us graph the two functions. We have f of x is equal to, type it on the input part. So we have that graph, f of x is equal to 2x squared. It is actually a parabola. Now we input the tangent line that we just solved, y is equal to 4x minus 2. So we have that. And the normal line y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 9/4. Okay, let's check this. So the input is incorrect. Let's try it again. Y is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 9/4. Okay, there you go. So we have this equations. Now we can actually check if the point of tangency between the graph, the function, quadratic function, and the lines is really 1, 2. So click intersect, click natin yung graph, parabola, tapos i-click natin yung, you can have the tangent line function g. Then we can now see here letter A here, point A. So there you go. That is 1, 2. So it is proven. So the GeoGebra can help you realize as well kung tama ang pinagsosolve niya. Okay? So we have this now. So the equation of the tangent line, f of tangent line on the graph of f of x is equal to square root of 2x. This 2, 2 serves, that point serves as the point of tangency. And how did we get it? If we let x be equal to 2, so we have f of 2 is equal to 2 times 2, and square root of 4 is 2. And just a while ago we were able to get the general expression of the equation or the slope of this tangent line, and that is the slope is equal to 1 over the square root of 2x. Okay, so substitute natin, let x be equal to 2, so ang slope ay magiging square root of 2 times 2, and that will be 1 over square root of 4. This slope is 1/2. Now we let x be equal to 2 and y is equal to 2. Now use the point slope form. Substitute, let y sub 1 be equal to 2. So y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 2. So we have 1/2 x here, distribute, minus 1 plus 2. So lipat natin ang negative 2, magiging positive 2. So y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. So this is the equation of the tangent line. Now the equation of the normal line, from the slope that is 1/2, the slope of the normal line, get the reciprocal of 1/2, and that is 2. So positive yung 1/2, magiging negative naman ang slope ng normal line. Therefore, we substitute using the same formula, y minus 2. Now let the slope be equal to negative 2 times x minus 2 So y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Negative times negative 2. They're both negative, so it becomes positive. So plus 2 na. Kasi lilipat natin ang negative 2 here. So we have y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. So this is now the equation of the normal line. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. Now let us show the graphs of these two. So let us graph the second curve, and that is a radical function. Y is equal to the square root of 2x. So this is the graph of that radical function. Now input natin yung equation of the tangent line na na-solve natin. Y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. So yan siya. So pwede natin i-check kung siya nga ba, point of tangency nga ba ay 2 and 2. So you can click intersect here, click the graph of the curve, and click the normal line. So there you go. Point A represents the point of tangency at ang kanyang coordinates ay, okay, we can go to the settings and label it, show the name and value. So we can actually show the value only if you wanted to. So yan, it's proven that the point of tangency is really 2 and 2. Now let's place the normal line. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 6. So in here, pwede mo din patunayan kung pareho ba sila ng point ni curve, given curve y is equal to square root of 2x. So you can go to intersect, click the function radical, and click. So let's try it again. Intersect, click the function, click the normal line. So there you go. It's still, this point P has coordinates 2 and 2. So pareho lang din sila. So that's it.